You're listening to Real Radio, the nationally trusted name in real estate investing. We dig deep to discover investors' why in real estate. If you want to skip all the BS and get in investors' heads, you're in the right spot. Be one of the thousands to check out realradio.com. Welcome to the Real Estate Rundown. This is episode 231 with Owen Dashner and Takash. Buddy, I just got a call, and after a month,
you were so happy.
After a month, they said my truck will be ready tomorrow morning.
I know, you're all smiles now.
Oh my gosh, I miss.
But is it in time for the camping extravaganza that you got going? Because didn't you have to have your truck in order to pull?
I borrowed my buddy's truck last week.
Yeah, that's right.
And my parents have a cabin up in Minnesota, and I was content in putting a whole 1,200 miles on their vehicle. So if it isn't ready by first thing in the morning, I'm taking their damn rental.
You know, you're going to get a Turo invoice from Kelly.
First one I ever.
Oh yeah, man, just go ahead, take it, no problem.
I had to reach out to him because it said out of DEF fluid. I'm like, what is DEF fluid? DEF?
Oh, deferential.
And I had to use Siri. I'm like, what is DEF fluid? And it's like, oh, it keeps the smog and smoke out of the pipe or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm not a car guy.
Yeah, and I'm like, because the diesels have, do the big black smog, and I guess it has an anti-smog system, and you got to fill this fluid up. And I go, what happens if you don't fill the fluid up? In my Siri deal, so it can cause thousands and thousands of dollars of damage.
Oh boy.
I'm like, yep, we gotta put that fluid in right now. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. There's blue hand, pop that in, put a gallon in. I was like, okay, let's go.
Man, I cannot wait to get all this automobile crap behind us. You and I both had some major problems lately.
Fun week.
Yeah. That sucked. So, okay, speaking of weeks, what do you got on the hopper this week other than going on your family vacay? And I have one coming up next week.
Ooh,
so
yeah, I know.
'Tis the season.
I got to find a co-host for that episode.
Oh,
yeah.
You do? Yes, you do. Yeah.
Oh.
You going to call the bullpen a little tatty investor action?
I always start with Megan and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I've had a fun week with the Airbnb, but other than that, it's just.
Oh God, what happened now?
Well, I had somebody request and I don't know if it's true or not, but they had a sob story. Let's just say that I don't want to be judged. And and in the end, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. You have a 1.5 star rating on Airbnb, and it doesn't look like you have very good ratings. I have a 3.9 minimum. I'm not going to rent to you. And I've had enough damage in the last couple months to that I don't need to take this risk. And then she starts arguing with me about her ratings. Like, what do you mean? Screenshot. I'm like, actually, I can't send you an image or any links unless I accept you as a
right. That's how their communication thing works in Airbnb. Yeah.
And then I'm like, I already told you I'm not taking it. I don't need your next 25 messages that are blowing it up, and you have to answer it so that way you're always showing that you're responsive.
Right.
I'm like, not renting to you. Sorry, find somebody else. Get a hotel room.
Right. Yeah. Geez.
Obviously, I don't know what the issue is, but that's super annoying.
I always say, real estate investing is kind of like dog years. Do you think Airbnb investing is like dog years times dog years?
But it does pay the money.
So you're 49 years older every time you rent an Airbnb out.
Oh my gosh. It's just always something. It's always something. So, yeah. I'm just going to leave it there.
Oh, okay. Speaking of always something. So I have this apartment complex that I bought into probably 3-4 weeks ago, right? And the insurance was going to go up dramatically, like more than double on the previous year's policy. So I started shopping around. Marty McGuire, little shout out there.
Oh, nice.
He sourced a carrier that had a laundry list of requirements that they had. This is new to me. I have never had an insurance company come through and say, in order for us to underwrite this and issue a policy on it, they went out and did a full inspection. And they came back with a list of, just like a home inspection, when you get if you're selling a flip or whatever, and a buyer comes in and they get a home inspection, typically you're going to have a list of repairs and stuff that are required by the buyer. You can either accept them or, reject them and see if they still want to buy the place. So we get this deal back, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff. It's got some electrical and some plumbing and some, this and that. And one of the things was boiler. Like, the boiler evidently is supposed to be inspected annually. And this is a fairly new purchase. So we're kind of picking up where the old owner left off with deferred maintenance, right?
Is this that 2 apartment buildings in the commercial bay, or is this a whole different
deal? A whole different one.
Yeah,
so 42 unit deal. Anyway, have you ever had that before? Ever heard of that? I didn't know. So I guess insurance carriers are now requiring this, or some of them are anyway, where they have a whole full-blown inspection that they do.
I've had a checklist that I've gotten from Marty, and it's like, where I had to fill out everything, like, what's the plumbing type? What's this? What's that?
Yeah, we did that too. Yeah. But this is the result after that.
I've never bought anything that big, so it might be a thing with
larger. Well, and, to be fair with this, a lot of these are safety issues. So, I mean, if I'm an insurance carrier, I would want these things to be fixed too, because, if you don't have your boiler inspected every year, who knows? Those things are,
you don't want those to go out.
They're bombs,
and
basically.
You don't want them to go out.
Yeah. And so anyway, we got to do this kind of like punch list of a whole bunch of crap, which we're doing because our, premium amount is going to be like half, if not more than half of the, renewal price. But that was a new one for me.
Who do they send out to do that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm involved now on the punch list, but I wasn't on the scheduling.
Got it.
They sent out somebody to do an inspection. I assume it was a third-party independent insurance inspector for different carriers.
Well,
I don't know that.
There was some money involved with that. And
right.
And they're putting the money out to get them checked out. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, this was kind of a new one for me too. So I mentioned, I think last week, we are getting we have it's like a kind of a little mixed use building. It's office space, and then it's got an apartment above.
What I just mentioned.
Yeah, it's not two buildings though. It's just one. But anyway, that one, and it just got a brand new roof put on, which I think I mentioned, and it's it was like $160,000 roof according to the current owner.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yes, it's not a big building. Like I've had bigger roofs than that replaced for like half or a third of that. Anyway, way overpaid for it, in my opinion. But here I am buying it. And interestingly, the roof is like costs about 2/3 as much as the building is costing me, which is crazy. But
there's an insurance scam there or something.
I don't know. It's there's something, I don't know, whatever. So we, have our due diligence period. And part of that is you're reviewing any of the documents related to the property. In this case, it's vacant, so there's no leases to review. But, we need to this is the time. We have a 10-day business day window where we can do a sewer scope. We can, look at the HVAC, any other things that are going to be major repairs, something like that, where we want to walk away. And also, this is the time where you look at insurance quotes and you do kind of the due diligence on the front end to see, okay, what is it going to cost to operate this thing? And what we found out was, so this brand new roof that got put on, there is a transferable warranty, right? Which is awesome. And it's a 20-year warranty, which is, a banger of a warranty. But it costs $1,000 to transfer it. That's what the roof installer has in their contract with the current owner. Anyway, my agent in this deal, Mark Hanwright, shout out to him. He called the roofing installer and said, hey, we have a buyer for this. And come to find out, the warranty wasn't actually registered yet. So he asked him, he goes, hey, could you wait to register that until the new buyers close on it, take possession, and then it'll just be in their name and it's not a transfer? And they agreed to it.
Oh, nice.
That'll save me a cool G. Yeah. So I owe Mark a old fashioned or two, apparently.
A nice steak.
Yeah, nice steak, apparently. But yeah, so those were two new things that I experienced this week so far.
My fun experience this week was the wonderful support animal deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So had Airbnb, and they had these two huge dogs like yours. What do you have?
I have a Bernese Mountain Dog.
Yeah. Two big ones that are similar to that. And then another big dog. First off, we have a 2-pet maximum requirement on our places.
Mm-hmm.
We charge $50 a night for pets because I really don't want them, but I don't want to say no.
Yeah, because it's extra cleaning. You get hair, and if they throw up or pee on something or whatever.
And the cleaning is almost doubled sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And so here I am. I get like a 1 or 2 night stay. I bend over backwards, help them. The first thing they say is, hey, we have emotional support animal. And I'm like, okay, red flag. What do I got to say here? I'm like, because I want to say.
Yeah, you're like panicking.
I'm like, send me the documentation. I don't care. I'm not going to say, prove it. And I checked the Airbnb notes, and nope, you cannot request any documentation.
This doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, because then you could just say that every single time without any recourse whatsoever.
And I got exterior cameras in the parking area, and if you have emotional support, don't they usually have like a vest and stuff?
But I don't understand. They can't do that at hotels, right?
I don't know.
I mean, have you we've tried and called around, and they're like, yeah. I mean, well, I guess they didn't say, well, is it an emotional support animal? Of course, they're not going to ask that.
So any property, even if you do or do not allow pets, this one does.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an emotional support animal, you have to allow it.
I did not know that.
Which annoys the shit out of me, because like I have a property that's higher end. And what if somebody brings a dog in, and then, next person's like, well, I'm allergic or something, and, and if you've had a pet in there, I can't come in.
Right.
I'm canceling out that whole, what about the people who are allergic, I guess?
And I'm also surprised, because technically that's a landlord-tenant law on the emotional support thing, but it's different evidently in hospitality.
It's an Airbnb standard. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know, but I had to accept it. you know, of course I lost out. Now the rent on this place is only like $80-$90 a night. You know, it's just a basic apartment, right?
Yeah.
But my cleaning bill, when you add in this, is like $150.
Yeah.
Or more, depending on how much it is. And my cleaner's like, this is the worst dog hair we've ever dealt with. They were there for 4 hours plus just cleaning dog hair out of this place. But I can't charge for the animal, you know. So in the end,
it costs you.
It cost me money to host them.
And you didn't even, like, what did you say? You didn't even get a 5-star review?
They gave me a 4-star review. And like, my communication is always a 5. They're like, oh yeah, the place is great. And of course their dog left blood on my sheets. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna write some of this off as part of the deal. You know, it's part of business. You know, and I send them pictures and stuff. And then they gave me a 4-star. I'm like, come on, guys, I didn't charge you for the damn thing. I let your bogus dogs in.
You should be like, hey, thanks for the 4-star review, and then send them a copy of your cleaning invoice and be like, dicks.
Yeah. Here's what I had to pay to have you in my place.
Man, that sucks.
Just those little. Every once those little things get under your skin.
Yeah, it'll grind your gears.
Yeah, it grinds your gears. I always forget to add that segment in.
Hey, I got a little golden nugget. Yeah, you're a little slow on the draw on that one.
I saw your eyebrows get so high.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my cue. So I got a gold nugget this week, and this is just a reminder and before the eye rolls here. So this is a good way to think about kind of a concept here. Your network is a living balance sheet of your life, right? And your business.
Okay.
Meaning everybody probably, once you've been doing real estate for a little while, you're going to create a personal financial statement and a balance sheet. You know, what are my assets? What are my liabilities? What are my, monthly payments, all that stuff, your monthly budget. But if you do an inventory, if you want to get into this business or really any other type of successful foray into entrepreneurship, you need to do an inventory of what you have in your contact list and where you're short, where your deficiencies are, where you have a surplus. So I'm going to tag a little bonus nugget onto this.
Oh, I love nuggets on nuggets.
And, Ted, we have, a bunch of text threads that you and I are on, but we have kind of one where there's, I don't know, about a dozen or so local investors
been around for
here.
Years now.
Yeah. And it started kind of as the, the contractor blacklist originally.
Yes, it was.
And now it's kind of morphed into anytime any of us are looking for something. It's like completely random stuff. Like, what was one yesterday? It was like, hey, I have a buddy that needs to move a house.
Yes.
Like, pick up a house off a foundation and move it somewhere. And then there were like a couple of referrals or suggestions out of that list. So if you are doing this exercise where you're kind of saying, okay, who do I know in various, facets of, let's say it's real estate investing. So, attorneys, CPAs, insurance adjusters, bankers, private money, hard money, you get the gist, contractors. You're always going to need a guy or a gal. Always. You may have a solid electrician and maybe they move, maybe they die, maybe they get sued, whatever. It always helps to have a good text thread of people you can trust and freely exchange referrals.
I feel like I get that call or text 10 times a day.
Oh, you probably above anybody, being the RIA master that you are.
And I love connecting people because then I'm like, hey, make sure you tell them that if they're not, they need to be a sponsor.
And then but then I always put an asterisk on there and I say, listen, they did a good job for me. That doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily do a good job for you. So buyer beware.
There's nothing worse when that referral comes back.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for referring me to that douchebag or whatever.
They worked good for me.
Yeah. So that's one little nugget on a nugget on a nugget.
One thing about that little text thread, I would never talk to Clint Bartlett anymore if it wasn't for that text thread.
He's every once in a while pops up. And you're like, who are you? Is this Clint's old phone number? Somebody
he's been missing in action.
Man. I know.
We got to bring him on just to see where he's at now.
We should, yeah. Yes. It's probably been a little twists and turns here in the last few years.
Remember, he was all about it there for a while. He had his podcast going.
Yeah.
All
7 episodes.
You never missed a meetup.
Uh-huh.
And then, 8 kids later and he's just out.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to reach out to him.
Well, speaking of 8 kids, we've got somebody on coming up on Wednesday that trumps that number with his brothers and sisters, 11 of them. And we've got Elijah Airday coming up, and he is doing a deep dive in this episode into what it's like growing up in a household with that many kids, first of all, and then also learning construction at a very, very early age. What did he say, like 5 years old?
Yeah, he said
he had a paintbrush in his hand.
Yeah.
Most kids are finger painting at that point, or at least I was.
Now I'm wondering, I'm like, why did they stop at 11?
I don't know. They hit the quota, aged out. I don't know. That's a lot of kids to fire out. But I'm just saying this episode is really interesting because he started out in construction and then leveraged that experience and also a whole bunch of like books and podcasts and stuff that he did as self-improvement.
Hundreds of books.
And he had probably the smallest graduating high school class of anybody I've ever met in my life. And I had 30.
Yeah.
So
very interesting there.
Stay tuned to hear more about Elijah and his goings on. He's worked on some projects for me personally, and they're pretty large ones with pretty big budgets. So real cool guy.
Did he get a little worried when he's like, I think I might have bit off more than I could chew?
No, I don't think I was in the room for that one.
No, he said that on the interview.
No, yeah, it was. It's not a small project, but if you want to hear kind of like how people go about managing large construction projects, how you kind of split your time, how you decide on resources, this is a really good episode for you. Yeah. So stay tuned for upcoming Wednesday episode with Elijah Air Day. And what else, man? You got anything?
No. If you're listening to us for the first time or the 231st time, please give us a 5-star review on whatever format you choose. Really needing them on Audible. So we'd love it if you would leave us a review on that platform or any platform and share us with somebody that is getting into real estate investing or maybe has a portfolio. That means the world to us, and it keeps us on the top of the charts.
Yeah.
With that, Owen Dashner, you see us out. Actually, Dennis, you're so quiet during this episode.
Well, I don't have a camera on me, so it's like, do I speak or do I not?
Wizard of Oz.
And I was just waiting to see if it is you guys would have probably tried to loop me in some form or fashion. But I mean,
hi, Dennis.
I was just, here waiting to be included and didn't get included. So that's okay.
And if you wanted to be included, you would have jumped at the table. We know you.
Yeah. All right. You do your thing, man. Well, we appreciate having you in here, seeing your beautiful face and your camo pants that you're rocking today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. On behalf of Dennis Bertrand, he was feeling not included, Ted Kosh, and Ria Radio, I'm Owen Dashner. You've been listening to the Real Estate Rundown. Sign off.